Alrighty. Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. Your nighttime, right time DJ Music here. Like I always say, folks, I got 15 minutes to rock this post, so let me get straight to it. Here it is. Here we go again. White woman, feeling emboldened, decided to stop an African-American man from walking into his house. That's just like we had Cornerstone store Becky that accused a little 9-year-old boy of touching her flat ass. We had another woman that decided to call the police on some black folks selling lemonade. We had another white woman that called the police on some black folks out in a peaceful protest. So folks, this is becoming a trend. This is definitely becoming a trend that these women, white women, feel empowered and emboldened that I can stop you anytime I want to. And if you don't obey my commands, I can pull the full brunt of whatever police department is in the area that's closer to me. I can bring them down on you, because you know what'll happen to you if I call the police. Y'all know that. Y'all know what this is about. They gave these women a taste of this thing that's so-called valor. They turned these so-called women want to turn them into so-called heroes. Well, you know what a hero is, right? Hero ain't nothing but a sandwich, and that motherfucker gets ate up if you put it up and fix it right. So I'm about to eat her up. Like I said, I got 15 minutes, so we're going to get first. It's two parts here, folks. You're going to see her make an attempt to stop Mr. Darian Tolles from going into his apartment. Notice I didn't mention her name. Check this out.
Please move, man.
I can. Do you live here?
Yeah, that's that question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The keypad is right there.
I understand, man.
You can film me. That's
okay,
fine.
I understand, man, but you're blocking me.
Into my building.
Okay, and
Okay.
it's my building as well, so I need you to get out my way.
Okay, what unit?
I don't need to say that information. So excuse me, man.
I'm uncomfortable.
Excuse me. Okay, you can be uncomfortable. That's your discretion. You're uncomfortable because of you. I need you to move out of my way, please.
No.
Now, please stop touching me.
I'm not touching
You
you.
just was previously.
I'm not touching you at all.
So I need to step in.
I'm not touching you, and I'm not in any way doing anything outside of letting my dog go to the bathroom.
Okay, and I live here, you're blocking the door.
What unit?
I don't need to tell you that. What unit do you live in?
307.
Okay, great. I'm on the 4th floor. Excuse me.
No. You don't have a key fob. You are... No.
No.
If you have that, then okay.
Ma'am, you're not security. You're not the property manager. You're not
No,
Mike
but
Herman.
I live here.
Okay, and I live here too. You're not Mike Herman. You're not Rick.
I don't like the fact you have your phone in my face.
Okay, I don't like the fact...
I'm going to pause it right there for a minute. See, that what people don't realize, you break things down to the smallest element. She understood right then and there when he said, you're not the the property manager. You're not the owner. You're not whatever those two names that he called. Those names were very familiar to her, to the point to where it almost made her back up, but she was already in too deep, folks. Her pride could not just let her walk away from it, because she felt that she was so empowered and so emboldened and so right about what she was doing. She really thought she was right, folks, and that's the problem. That is the problem. That is the crust of white supremacies. They think they are right at all times. Who gave her the permission to stop this man and then to tell him where and how and what he was doing? If she was so fearful that someone was intruding in her space, intruding on her property, why didn't she just back away, walk with that cell phone she had in her hand, and call the police like she wanted to do anyway? That's all I'm saying. Get back at it.
That you're blocking me for I pay.
All I'm
live.
asking is what unit?
But you're not... I don't need to tell you that information, man.
If you want to come into my building.
It's not your building. You're not the owner. You pay rent.
Sir, you walked up on a street.
Yes, and I've already buzzed in. I've already
You did
used my...
not.
Okay, yeah, it does not even matter. Can you get out of my way?
No, can you show me the key
I
fob
don't,
into this
I'm
building?
not showing you anything. And the second, man, I'm bound to walk through where I live at. So.
No.
Okay.
Can you show me the key fob into this? No.
Excuse me.
No.
Excuse me.
Are you kidding me?
No, are you kidding me? That should have been the end of the confrontation right there, folks. If she was so worried about what was going to happen, whether he was breaking into a building or not, you had enough opportunity right there to say, you know what, let me call the apartment manager, or let me call someone else to and get in on this situation, just in case there might be a small iota that I might be right. But from talking to the man and seeing the man walk away calmly, does it look like that's the something a criminal would do? All the signs says that this woman is 100% wrong, but you'll see a little bit later on in her haphazard, sorry-ass excuse of why she did what she did, you'll see actually people trying to throw sympathy at her. Guaranteed, if the roles were reversed, if that was a black man trying to stop a white woman from going into a building, all hell would be breaking loose right now. Fox News would be standing on the edge. There'd be white supremacists running up to the doors. Niggas would be running up the street. Well, y'all know what happens when you fuck with a white woman and they start crying. I don't want to have to use this disclaimer, but I'm not talking about all white women, just in case somebody wants to drop down in the page later on and make a comment talking about, well, all white women are not like that. Of course not. So let's not throw stupidity into your comments, all right, folks? If you have some legitimate comments, of course I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about these idiots that show themselves like this.
Where are you going? Do you have a key fob that looks like this? You can film all you want. I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. You walked into a building that I was taking my dog out and pushed your way in. No. Who are you going out to the fourth floor to see?
Notice he's still not answering her, folks. Notice the man is still being calm. How many of you would have remained this calm? White, black, green, or whatever.
No, I want to know who you're going to see.
Let's follow you up to your apartment now.
I am.
Why?
Because I would like to know who's friends and why you're here.
Dog whistle.
And if you do, then I would like to meet you because you're a neighbor.
Liar.
You didn't start off on a good note. I have no difference. You in my house. I live there. Where I pay.
I would like to introduce myself as a neighbor.
That's that old bullshit.
I do not want to speak with you. Please stop following me. I'm going to call the cops for harassment.
Now, folks, I'll ask you right there. Isn't this reminiscent of someone else? Isn't this reminiscent? I'm not going to take it to that extreme, but isn't this reminiscent of George Zimmerman following Trayvon Martin, even though he had no right to, which ultimately ended up in that young man's demise? What if the situation was reversed, that this man felt that he was being stalked and harassed by this white woman behind him, turned around and knocked her ass out? The crowd would be screaming bloody murder, or you could have walked away from the situation, or you could have, as a man, you should have known better, or she posed no threat to you. How do you know? Actually, she is the aggressor in this entire video. I have to give Mr. Tolles kudos for keeping his composure for as long as he did. You wouldn't have stopped me. You'd have got it at the front door. Bitch, get out of my way. I don't need to show you shit. Who are you? Are you the security? Are you the person that owns this building? Okay. And what gets me is, folks, you'll see this man put his key in the door, and that still was not enough for her.
That's my next step. You just follow me all the way to my door. And you see my keys in the door. That is so, that...
As a record, I just want to say
Ma'am, how about you? Ma'am, you just, no. Have a good night, ma'am.
Perfect. That's just how I would have ended that. I would have slammed the door on her too, folks. Matter of fact, he was a little bit more calm than me, because she wouldn't have even got up to front. Wait a minute. Once we got off the elevator, ma'am, and you saw that I was, matter of fact, I should have no reason to even act like that I should even have to say this, that I didn't pose any threat to you. What the fuck are you still following me for? Once you saw me put this key in this door, why the fuck are you still here? What do you want? Go call the police. That way you can embarrass yourself a little bit more. Some people say, well, she shouldn't have been fired from her job. Why not? Would you want a person like this working next to you? Just imagine if she worked with black people. How do you think those other black people would feel about their employee if you let someone that it's known that exhibits racist qualities continue to work for you? Now, we're going to pause this here for a second, and then we're going to get to her haphazard apology, okay?
So when I noticed an individual that I did not know, my only intent was to follow the direction that I'd been given by our condo association board members repeatedly, and that is to never allow access to any individual who probably asked if he lived there. Because the direction from the condo association is so repeated that if you don't know the person, you do not let them in. Any resident has that they would. He would not answer me. He would not show me one.
Did he force his way in?
There was an altercation at the front door, and that's how he got into the building.
Do we see that on video?
You do not. The camera was pointed at the ground. But you hear me say something along the lines of, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" To which he replied, "Go ahead and call the police."
And you're called a racist?
That is absolutely false and heartbreaking. And those are words that truly cut deep. I do not think that I did anything wrong. I upheld the ask of me to its fullest extent.
So there you have it, folks. She honestly felt she didn't do anything wrong. And that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. That's what got Emmett Till killed. Some 50 years later, because she thought she didn't do nothing wrong, and her conscience ate at her so much on her dying bed, or when she figured out that her life was about to end, then she wanted to try and make amends. Or corner store Becky, whatever her name was, that wants to scream and stand out in the middle of a street in a shop and scream that a young African American boy, not even in double digits yet, touched her on the ass. That a white policeman can walk into a young African American man's home, shoot him, and his character is the one that's being vilified. How the police can run up on a 12-year-old boy because he was playing with a toy gun and shoot him, kill him, and someone in a court system can find that was justifiable, what they did. I beg to differ with all you folks. None of this racist stuff is justifiable. It's embedded. It's how a lot of folks live. It's how a lot of folks were brought up. Some people say she shouldn't have been fired from her job. I'm glad she got fired. It could have turned out a whole lot worse. Another black man could have been shot and killed because of a white woman calling the police for no other than the reason and the fact that she thought it was her duty to. You see what I'm saying, folks? There's all kind of ways you can look at this. But look at it the right way. Don't look at it through the eyes of what you think is right. Look at it through the eyes of the victim sometimes. Look at it through the eyes of the person that's being accosted. What would you have done? Gotta get on up out of here, folks. Have a great night.